time to abandon ship.
Oh no!
Here we go!
Can I persuade you to join us for a drink? It's a tradition.
Here, here.
Jar Jar, homie, my main man, quickly. Before the Separatists attack, get into the escape pod.
Hey! This is escape, then we're the pod.
Welcome back to Star Wars Escape Pod, and another fantastic episode ahead. We have our co-hosts Bryce and Blake joining us this week once more, and this is the 401st episode of Star Wars Escape Pod. So big thank you to all of you guys who tuned into our 400 episode celebration game show night, and for many more ahead. And I know at least a lot of friends of ours have gone back and listening to some older episodes, and it's very exciting to celebrate the milestone. So we have Star Wars Visions Volume 3 on the roster today. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Another happy landing.
All right, welcome back, everybody.
Ahoy!
Hey, Blake's son, Josh son. How you doing?
Bryce, son.
Everyone's reporting.
Very good, sir.
Yeah. Volume 3. Kind of
Volume
snuck up
3.
on us.
Yeah, it sure did.
In fact, we had to move a podcast episode so we could review it.
Yes. 9 episodes all dropped on October 29th on Disney Plus. So here we are, I guess, a week later or so. It's not too bad. It's not too bad.
Well, we couldn't
by
skip our 400th episode spectacular.
Well, that's right. And as a result, this will be pushed release-wise for the next week. But yeah, hopefully you, I don't know, I guess to kick things off, do you guys have a annual Star Wars Halloween plan that you do? Do you do a dress up, a costume of any kind,
Yeah, I went to work. I went to work as my Rebel pilot costume.
Nice.
Yeah, always turns a lot of heads. Yeah.
Nice.
My tradition is to look at my Stormtrooper armor and just remember the horrible chafing.
Yeah.
The back of my thighs
Yeah.
walking several kilometers to our party.
Yeah. That was a long walk.
You hear your clacking of the armor pieces
The
like the
entire
whole
way.
time?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Because the thighs are a little bit long because
Yeah.
I have the end of a set.
Yeah.
And it just rubbed the back of my thighs raw.
Yeah.
Because it's just like plastic rubbing.
Right.
And then I was at the party and couldn't sit down.
Dang. Rough, man. I threw on one of my jackets. I got a orange reversible rebel jacket.
Was that the Disney one?
Yeah, it was from Disney Parks. Yeah, and I just decided to go casual this year. I just threw my X-wing helmet. The what's his name? Trapper Wolf.
Oh yeah.
Dave Filoni's X-wing helmet. And just did that because most of the time I do a suit and then I'll put on like a Mandalorian helmet or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
This year I was like, I just wanted, I don't want visibility problems. So I put on the helmet and then I still had issues because that thing is kind of tight.
Yeah,
so then
it's
I
a
had
little
trouble
small.
hearing everybody.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like, man, there's always some sort of impairment. Like anytime I throw on one of these buckets,
Yeah. It is like because I'm in the office again at work, so I didn't realize that, when you're wearing like the huge orange jumpsuit, you go to the bathroom, you gotta take that. There's no pants. You gotta unzip that whole thing. It is awkward.
Yeah.
Someone's in the stall next to you and just taking off all of your clothes.
I know.
Or better yet, you're just standing there at the urinal and you got like the whole, everything's at your ankles,
Yeah, gotta take off my breathing apparatus. Gotta take off my flak vest.
Yeah,
It's hard for the Rebel pilots. They must have something in the X-wing kind of that just lets them
Some sort of
like a vacuum.
tubes or
Yeah.
like catheter situation.
Exactly. Maybe the astromech has like an attachment.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
A steamer.
man. Well, yeah. I mean, that being said, Halloween's always a fun time of year to dress up.
Yeah.
Good excuse to do it. So, but hey, if any of our listeners have a wicked Star Wars costume you want to send us a picture of, you know what our email is.
We forgot to review the costumes. We're going to review the costumes for sale.
Were we?
this
Oh
year.
yeah.
We
Oh
talked
yeah.
about that.
Yeah,
'Cause
we
we're
did.
reminiscing about those really sketchy Clone Wars costumes with the plastic
right.
masks.
Yeah.
To make
Oh,
you look
yeah.
like an animated character.
Yeah. We'll do that.
Yeah.
We'll do that another
Weird
time.
facial proportions.
My favorite one is I've seen a lot of the kind of rubber Darth Maul masks, but it has like the mouth cut out.
Yeah.
It's very
Your
weird.
lips
People-
stick
yeah.
Looks so awkward.
People have a lot of fun with those.
Yeah. So 9 studios worked on this production. It looks like, at least from the count. Although I think one of them did more than one.
Yeah.
Kinema Citrus did more than one.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It seems like an odd thing to me.
Yeah. A couple returning studios. Some possibly new. I think. David Production, I think, might be one of the new ones. And
I'm trying to think, why would Lucasfilm give 2 episodes to one studio? Considering last year they did like a big global thing.
maybe they're big enough to do it, I guess. I don't know.
It still feels like, personally, I feel like you'd want to get variety.
Yeah, but then they wouldn't do repeat studios too, which is interesting. And there's a lot of it's interesting because there's a lot of big studios that haven't done an episode yet that people are wondering why kind of they haven't been given the chance.
Give it a
Right.
chance, or are they just not interested?
Yeah, I guess they're just not interested. But, I'm assuming probably they're too expensive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it could be that.
Yeah.
So
Maybe- so I guess from that theory, the studio that did 2 is a cheaper studio.
Yeah, possibly. But I mean, as we'll probably talk about it, they're kind of some of the better episodes. So
true. Yeah.
yeah.
So 2 studios actually worked on the first one, which we're going to be talking about tonight. There's 3 carryover episodes which relate or call back to some shorts that we saw in volume 1, and this is one of those ones. So the Duel Payback, they've built up a mini franchise around the Duel. Celebration this past year in Japan had exclusive action figure 6 inches of the main character and the droid that he's with, and now you can buy those in a regular box. This one had a runtime of about 22 minutes. Of course, that runtime is skewed because of all the credits at the end, but this one was a carryover from last year's plot, and I think you
last
guys,
year's, or was it season 1?
or sorry, 2 years ago, was it volume 1? Volume 1, yeah. This one, I don't know about you guys, but the volume 1, the Duel was one of the highlights for me. Was it a highlight for you guys? Like when you watched volume 1?
I enjoyed it. It was more just an action episode, but I thought it was well done.
Yeah, I think it took kind of like it was just kind of, it was really direct in the way that it was like kind of the perfect episode for like it was the first episode, right?
Yeah.
It was the very
Of
first
yeah.
one,
So it makes so much sense to me that it was like, we're gonna do an episode that just it's like a traditional Japanese setting, but Star Wars,
Yeah.
And then of course doing the
It's like samurai
old black
duel.
and white, kind of to evoke that feeling of
Kurosawa.
Yeah.
the
Seven Samurai,
right?
yeah.
The classic is so it was just the go-to, which made sense to me. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. But so you're saying like it had action figures and stuff, so it was pretty
Yeah,
well
and
received.
a novel. They did
Okay.
a whole novel called Ronin about a year or 2 ago, and that was basically, I think it was a prequel or a follow up to that short. And yeah, they've definitely built up a mini title around it. And then next year, I think they're launching an audio book exclusive, like an audio drama based around this property as well. So it seems like the Duel has received like positive enough feedback over the last couple of years that they've kind of come back and back again to do more, I guess.
The Ronin returns. Kamikaze Doga and the filmmakers behind The Duel are back with a vengeance, with payback. Once again, director Takanobu Mizuno creates a fully realized black and white galaxy featuring pops of color during the thrilling lightsaber combat. It's a monochrome mashup in a galaxy far, far away. As a returning designer and superfan, Takashi Okazaki combines traditional feudal Japanese culture and classic Star Wars iconography with his unforgettable design work. The Gambling Den and Imperial Walker mashup with its Ginzan-inspired structures was inspired by floating Kawayuka terraces from the Kamo River in Kyoto.
I spent a fortune on this mobile gambling hall.
The seedy establishment is run by boss Oyabun Keidama, adorned in traditional Gakubori tattoos, and Fuzzball, his imposing Wookiee enforcer. Eagle-eyed Star Wars fans should keep an eye out for the Walker's snowshoes, a gonk droid serving Odin stew and sake, and a Huck, a praying mantis-like creature straight out of the cantina scene in A New Hope. And Oyabun's chariot, a modified mouse droid, adorable and practical.
Honey-san, handle it. Rough him up and earn your keep.
The location serves as an epic setting for Payback's opening duel between the Ronin and a new Twi'lek Sith warrior, Anisan, an homage to the tradition of female samurai warriors called Onimusha. Lightsabers and Leku make for a deadly combination. Payback reimagines the Jedi as a group of crusaders led by the Grand Master. He's a vengeful guy with some serious hardware and a grudge, who proves to be more than a match for our wandering warrior. The Kamikaze Doga crew went on location scouts to northern Japan to find reference for the idyllic area where the Ronin recuperates in a Bacta spring, inspired by Japan's onsen hot springs. Director Takanobu Mizuno shot live-action animatics for the climactic duel between the Ronin and the Grand Master. Playback, The Ronin's Adventures, along with all of Vision's Volume 3, coming soon to Disney+.
How did you guys like Payback? The synopsis is, with the help of some unexpected allies, Ronin faces off against his greatest foe, a twisted Jedi known as the Grand Master, who is bent on revenge.
I don't know. Like, I wasn't, to be fair, like, I think, like, I enjoyed the first one enough. It was my favorite, from the first series. I understand why some people really like it, because it's just, it's kind of
Fun action.
Yeah, fun action, very different. And it's kind of like, it kind of pushes, especially if people like lightsaber fights, that's the one you're going to like, because it just like, as well, it just adds all these lightsaber gadgets.
Right.
Yeah.
I think,
umbrellas.
when you're with your friends, I think you're
arms.
always just thinking of what item can I make into like a lightsaber crossover? Like
Right.
a lightsaber
Right.
gun. Can I make a lightsaber?
Yeah.
Like anything, right? So I think if you're a big lightsaber aficionado, you'll probably like it. Yeah. I thought this second one though, I'm not sure it innovated enough on like the first one, and I'm not sure I'm maybe the target audience for that one.
That's fair. I'm gonna be honest. I found it very confusing.
Okay.
I had a really hard time following kind of what was going on. I think the pacing was super fast, and then it started just throwing in a bunch of extra stuff, and kind of just didn't know what was going on.
I think that's a good point. Like I feel that's how I felt for a lot of these episodes. Is I feel like they're given like 25 minutes, and a lot of the times they're trying to cram in this
Like a season's
this
worth of
story.
information.
And you just can't do that, because the audience is just gonna feel overwhelmed and a little, I don't know. Yeah,
because like kind of like us, like a lot of people are watching these back to back, and it can. I don't think, at least when all these studios are individually working on what they're working on, they don't really take that into account, and they all kind of want to do that. Approach it from the same way. It's just throw everything at you and give you Star Wars anime, and there's maybe a stereotype that goes along with that sometimes, like what we were saying, earlier, and I don't know. Like I think there's something to appreciate about the ones that are a bit more tame, slower paced.
Yeah, and especially, and I think, traditionally, I do think.
Yeah, this was the one that had all the Ewoks.
Yes.
I was so confused by that.
Yeah.
They just felt so out of nowhere.
Yeah, I had a lot of. They had a Gungan shield generator. They had some Ewoks in there. They had.
Your gripe was that they had all the Gungan technology, and then they refused to use Gungans.
Yeah, they're cowards.
So they use Ewoks instead.
Yeah.
Man, I think that's where I got so lost. It just felt like such a departure from the first one.
I think like something I definitely did not like this one as much as the first part, but the thing I appreciated about it was probably the villain. I thought he was a cool character. He was definitely this creepy kind of guy. He had the whole the smiley mask. Really tripped me. I was like, man, I don't know what it is about.
Interesting, because that's also like a Japanese thing, right?
Well, it's also something that they did with the acolyte with the stranger's helmet.
Right.
He's got this like sadistic smile on his, like, it's made out of the mechanical pieces, but it just kind of makes it look like he's like smiling, in this weird evil way. And this guy was kind of the same thing. I was like, I'm kind of liking the creepiness coming off of his villainy, and I love how he's a Jedi who's like totally lost his way in this world that they're developing, and that part was cool. There was a lot about the episode though that also I was like, less of a fan of, but I could have gone with less duels and more of like the importance of the duel happening, towards the end of the episode. I don't think it was necessary to really have that other rivalry they had with that other Sith girl,
the Twi'lek.
Yeah, I thought that was a bit unnecessary, because then at the end they start fighting again, and they kind of smile at each other as if it's like a playful thing, or as if they enjoy like just fighting each other for the heck of fighting each other. What kind of score would you give this to, and which one of you wants to explain our rating system on the show?
Yeah, so So we have our rating system is we have Pablo points, and we go you can go
Pablo
3.
poodoos.
Yeah, Pablo poodoos. So you can go 3 in the positive, which is those are your Pablos, and you can go 3 in the negative, which are your Pablo poodoos. And right in the middle, if you're kind of neutral, you give that one a bendu.
Yeah.
So really, it's a rating system of 7
Yeah.
from -3 to 0 to positive.
And I think we were kind of talking about this before. Like if you're gonna give a 3 Pablo poodoos, 3 poodoos, it has to be kind of like there's nothing you like about
Right.
this,
There's
right?
like it's
no
unredeemable
redeemable qualities.
Right.
That being said, I don't know, Blake, you want to start us off?
I want to say a bendu, but I feel like that's being gracious, and I feel like I don't want to go lower than that because I really wasn't my favorite, but I really liked the first one. I feel like they did a good job, but this one did feel like a big step down for me, if I'm honest. I'm gonna stick to a bendu.
I'm gonna do a poodoo for me.
One poodoo.
One poodoo coming up.
One poodoo, okay. And don't forget, you can also do 0.5s if you're if you're really feeling it. I probably would give this a bendu as well on my end. Only I think it was raised up after I saw some of the other ones. I think my score was kind of affected by some of the other ones.
Yeah.
So you're rating on a curve.
I think so.
Okay.
I think just based on I was like, you know what, that one was actually pretty, not bad, seeing as some of the other ones were fairly dislikable. Okay, the second one was the Song of Four Wings. This one was done by which studio? Project Studio Q.
So these guys did the Twins from the last season, if you remember that one.
Yes,
The one
thank
with
you.
the two, and
Twin
they were
Sith.
like fighting in mech suits outside of a Star Destroyer.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah, Project Studio Q. I think I looked it up very briefly. They had a couple larger works. Oh yeah, they do a lot of Evangelion stuff. Not sure if they did. And then Mobile Suit Gundam most recently. Mobile Suit Gundam GQ UUUUUUX.
Nice.
Which I have yet to watch. I think I actually was planning on watching it though. So not a small studio.
So big studio then.
Yeah.
All right. Publisher summary for this: a princess turned rebel protects a child from the might of the Empire on a snowbound planet.
In Studio Q's The Song of Four Wings, the action unfolds on a snowy planet in a remote corner of a galaxy far, far away. A band of rebels led by the heroic warrior Crane are battling Imperial forces when our story begins. Director Hiroyasu Kobayashi took inspiration for the dramatic setting of this wild adventure from the snow country region of Japan where he grew up. Illustrator Shinya Mizuno was recruited to bring the character designs to life with a sense of cuteness and relatability, such as Crane, the warrior princess. The team incorporated design elements in her look to pay homage to other heroines of Star Wars. Fans might spot scavenged gear like her goggles inspired by Rey, or Leia's iconic Defender blaster pistol from A New Hope. Crane is joined by loyal astromech Tortu, a droid who holds more than a few surprises, and we're not just talking about their ability to provide Crane with a sick EDM adventure playlist. Composer Toa Te created distinct sounds for Tortu, as well as their electronic melodies, inspired by binary droid speak from characters like R2-D2. The filmmakers wanted to contrast Tortu's unique sound with Woopa's more traditional pastoral folk tones to create a variety of musical expressions. Speaking of Woopas, the Star Wars Cute Mascot Awards has a new frontrunner. The creative team wanted Woopas to be an adorable yet brave warrior, taking inspiration from the Ewoks in Return of the Jedi, who also score high on the cute but fearsome shortlist. Crane's last stand against the Empire is inspired heavily by tokusatsu transformation shows. For this sequence, Kobayashi drew on his experience working on Japanese film and animation, but also his appreciation of Joe Johnston and his work on the AT-AT walkers in The Empire Strikes Back. Longtime Evangelion veteran Takeshi Takakura was drafted for the awesome mech designs that gave the classic vehicles an anime twist, allowing them to power up and fire seismic charges that would make the Fett family proud. Relive the adventure with the Song of Four Wings and check out all the new chapters of Visions Volume 3, now streaming on Disney+.
This one, I believe, was the one that none of us liked.
This one was rough.
This one was pretty rough. The child was more a creature than a humanoid child. It was like an alien child, but
Yeah, it's kind of like a mole with like a really big
Yeah.
eyes and a toque.
yeah, and it makes
the
the
little
most,
creature she finds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The-
The child, yeah.
the child. Yeah, the sounds coming out of this thing were cringe.
Yes, it was
least
definitely
with
a
the English dub.
stereotypical little. In a lot of animes, you have this little sidekick creature that's
Right.
just kind of like comedic relief. but usually they're kind of like
Cute
they only
and
kind of pop in
lovable.
every now and again for like a quick laugh. So
Yeah.
I think it was tough for this episode because it was kind of literally the supporting actor. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
I think it makes it difficult to kind of when you're constantly being bombarded by like these.
It was like if a porg was the secondary character.
Yeah.
Probably how I would describe it.
So
You know, we all love porgs, but maybe not for 22 minutes straight.
yeah.
Yeah, this one had a lot of like, I don't know. Sometimes I try to settle down, you know, sometimes a lot of things will trigger me just because I'm a Star Wars fan. So when I see AT-ATs busting through the ice.
That's where they lost me too.
You know,
It's
it's really tough because
It just felt like we needed an excuse to bring them out.
Yes, yeah, exactly. They could have made
Didn't make any sense at all.
that is a very good point. I think that is maybe the correct way to go about it. Not to be mad that they're not using them correctly, but that they use them in the first place. You know,
Right.
They have the opportunity to make whatever kind of Imperial machine they want that could have
Come out of the ice. Yeah, if it wasn't something we already knew wouldn't do that,
Yeah.
then we would not know any different.
Yeah, like I
Like if it
probably,
was like a drilling machine.
yeah, like the Separatist drilling.
Yeah,
springs.
there you go.
Yeah.
That worked perfectly.
Yeah, so yeah, I think there are a lot of stuff like that. Kind of just, it's not great.
I liked seeing the sand crawler being used to drill something because they're supposed to be abandoned mining equipment.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
I think something that also rubbed me the wrong way with this one was just how not on board I was with the type of music that was happening. Wasn't a fan.
Yeah, it's kind of electronic.
It was very
Yeah.
Beep beeps and boops.
Yeah. I don't just overall this just wasn't for me.
I also noticed that all of the droid sounds were directly lifted from R2's soundtrack.
Yeah.
I feel like other droids we've seen in Star Wars all have like different pitches and sound effects. This was just straight up R2D2.
Yeah, like someone is using a soundboard.
For
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, exactly.
The crazy mechanical arms coming out of that one ATSD and then the plethora of seismic charges.
There's a
Oh,
lot of
were-
those. Forgot about that.
I was like,
That was
okay.
a common thing in this season of Visions.
I think you said
seismic
something.
charges.
Yeah, and like Bryce said something about this with like just the kind of over the top nature sometimes when somebody does think of anime. It's like you almost don't want to have that kind of reputation where it's like over the top, eccentric and crazy all the time. You know, like anime can be pretty chill and really, really cool and it doesn't have to be like this all the time, but especially just within Star Wars when there's a certain array of expectations with some of the designs and this and that. There's certain limits here and there that our mind, I think, can wrap around. Even if it is Star Wars Visions and they have unlimited potential as to what they want to do, I think there's still a threshold as to how much is a Star Wars fan going to enjoy this.
Yeah, exactly. I can feel like when I see a good episode, I'm like, oh, they respect the fans. You
Yeah.
know, like they're like they know kind of what fans will like, you know, and I know, and like I can see that too. But if someone's like, oh, when they're just like, what are Star Wars fans like? They like the seismic charge. Let's put in 40 of them. You know, so like, it's just it's an instant
very
win.
specific.
You know, like, what do they like? They like the big camels. I don't know
Yeah,
what they're
the
called, but let's
robot
make them
camels.
they'll just bust through the ice. They'll love that.
Yeah.
You know what we need? More Ewoks.
Yeah.
Just bring them out by the hundreds. Give them diving masks.
You know, that was something that I think they stole from episode 9 because episode 9 has this shot of, I don't know how or why, but these Star Destroyers are beneath the ice on Exegol or something, and they all bust through like.
So you're saying there's a reason to have ATS?
I think maybe
ATs
there was an
under ice?
inspiration call there. I think maybe they watched that and they were like, yeah, we need that in our anime.
Yeah.
We
You know,
also
let's
need
just
lazy.
planet destroying blaster lasers on every AT-AT.
Yeah.
like who put them there and for what purpose and why are there?
I don't know.
There's somebody's
How
driving
did
those
they get
things.
down there.
They're chilling there all day, you know, like do they have like a tunnel network that they can go and grab some lunch, you know, like
Maybe. What if they came from a different side of the mining machine? Then they'd
Yeah,
be
maybe.
frozen
I
on
mean-
the wrong side.
like
They're
it's
walking around in the water down there
I don't think it's water. I think it's
underneath the ice.
I think it's just solid, like
Just solid
because
ice.
they're mining, right? So it's probably. I don't think there's water.
Because they're just
So
frozen
it's
down
not-
there like
yeah.
ancient mammoths.
right.
I don't know.
Yeah. So for me, I think I gave this one a 2.5
Well, I didn't ask.
Poodoo?
Do you guys like the Mega Man aspect of it, where her turns her into a like Mega Woman?
Yeah, that is the one thing. I'm like, if I'm gonna give it any points, it was gonna be just for the action sequence and like the animation, and then the mech kind of transforming. Which
it's like that was a neat idea. You know, I think that's probably one of the things that keeps it from being rock bottom for me.
Wasn't there a Mega Man episode last season? Am I crazy?
Yes.
There was.
It was like a robot boy or something.
Yep.
Man.
I think I'm gonna. You know what? I'll stay my hand. I'll do two poodoos.
Two poodoos. Okay, so you're at 1 poodoo for the first one.
I don't do 0.5s though. So
okay, all right.
I was gonna give it three poodoos.
Okay, you know what? Yeah, 2. I'll bring it down 2. I'll go 2. I'll match you.
goodness.
I'll match your 2 poodoos. What do you got?
I think I'm gonna do just 1 poodoo.
1 poodoo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, 1.5 because it was one of the rougher ones. There's only 2 episodes in this season that, like, for me, a bit of a struggle to get through.
Very sensitive way of putting it. Let's go to The Ninth Jedi, Child of Hope. This was brought to us by Production IG. This was the one that also did just The Ninth Jedi from Volume 1, and it's a sequel. It's a follow-up episode, kind of like the Dual Payback. This one, pursued by Jedi hunters and blasted adrift into space, Kara encounters a seemingly abandoned ship tended to by a mysterious droid, voiced, was what we found out, by none other than Charlie from the Chocolate Factory. What's his name?
Wait, is that does he play Charlie in that? In the one
like
with
in the Willy
Johnny
Wonka,
Depp?
in the Johnny Depp one.
That's
yeah.
him?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I did not realize.
From
that.
The Good Doctor?
Yeah, you might also know him from The Good Doctor or Bates Motel or
I hate to say it though, but I feel like he was the part I disliked the most.
Freddie Highmore. Freddie Highmore.
Freddie Highmore. Okay.
Yes, I mean, a little insider knowledge. We actually changed the language to Japanese halfway through because we were so annoyed with the voice.
His voice, his take on playing his character was really hard to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
Tito, right?
Tito,
Or Teto.
Yeah.
Tato.
So if you're watching it in the dubbed and you're having a hard time with this one, switch to the subbed Japanese version. It was much better.
Yeah. English subs, Japanese audio.
At least it was for us.
Yeah.
It honestly, it went from me just struggling to get through the episode to actually like starting to enjoy it.
In 2021, Production IG made their Visions debut with The Ninth Jedi, which told the story of Kara, the daughter of a kidnapped sabersmith who strengthened her connection with the Force to help defeat a group of treacherous Sith acolytes. Now, Kara and her friends return in The Ninth Jedi, Child of Hope. Pursued by Jedi hunters and blasted adrift into space, Kara encounters a seemingly abandoned ship tended to by a mysterious droid named Teto.
I am a service droid named Teto.
The writer and director of Psycho-Pass, Naoyoshi Shiotani, and the team at Production IG created a stunning setting for the story with a drifting starship, designed to resemble the ancient planet of Kamui before it was destroyed by war. Shiotani-san collaborated with background art director Shuichi Kusamori. The rooms and corridors are reminiscent of the forests and lakes of Teto's master's old home, decorated with sculptures of his people, lending the location an eerie, abandoned ship vibe. As for little Teto himself, Shiotani-san imagined him as a kid brother figure for Kara. Concept artist Hiroki Shinagawa gave Teto's plating a design reminiscent of a butler's tuxedo, and a wide range of motion in his facial parts so that he could convey emotion with his expressions.
It's a girl.
Kara and Teto have both faced tragedy in their past, but they draw strength and inspiration from each other's resilience when the Jedi hunters raid the ship. The design team imbued the Jedi hunters with armor and headwear reminiscent of warriors from feudal Japan. The hunters carry electrostaffs, a rare weapon that can parry a lightsaber, first seen wielded by the Magna Guard droids in Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, this is bad.
For more stories with Kara and her friends, look out for the new limited series, Star Wars Visions Presents The Ninth Jedi. Coming soon to Disney+, the home of Visions Volume 3, streaming now.
There was a cool concept to this that they recycled from Jedi Survivor with an old Jedi kind of trapped in this bacta tank. Initially,
We don't know if he was a Jedi. He might have been a villain. He might have been. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know, but I guess like there was this mystery around that, and then finally Kara gets through up the stairway, and it's like okay, he's been dead for a while, but
he's just a big pickle in a jar.
Yeah, just a pickle in a jar. It was a cool idea. I think it had us thinking for a little bit, and then it was like, oh, okay.
It's a wasted opportunity.
Yeah.
I wish.
Yeah, definitely.
We were all speculating that once they revealed what he looked like and he looked kind of creepy, his design, thought, he's gonna be released. He's gonna be like a Sith or something.
Yeah.
I thought that would have been a little cooler, but
And there was a villain from Jedi Survivor, which is probably one of my more favored plot lines of a Star Wars game ever, which was that this High Republic Jedi was like kind of half-turned villain, like, you know, with some extremist views on the galaxy, and he'd been trapped in like Bacta for a while, like just in a coma or something, being kept on ice type thing. And then you as Cal Kestis like let him out, and you realize like, oh, this guy's actually like not the Jedi I thought he would be.
Yeah.
And I thought maybe it would be something like that, but then it's just like, nah, he's dead.
yeah,
So, you know.
that was a surprising twist.
Yeah.
And not,
Yeah, it was.
not in my opinion, not in an exciting way.
Right. There wasn't a lot of extra excitement about this episode. Like the bandits that pursue Kara, they finally catch up to her. Her and the droid kind of get out of it, and then her friends pick her up, and she gets away.
Droid sacrifices himself to
Yeah.
take the escape pod.
Yeah,
which
Rip Tito.
he reboots up with his own droid power.
So umbilical cord.
Yeah, umbilical. Yeah, exactly. Sacrifices himself to power her escape pod. So, you know, it's like, okay, all right. Definitely nowhere near as good as the Ninth Jedi, I think.
Yeah, that was the thing for me, is I had really high expectations for this.
Well, and this is the one that's getting a follow-up series next year. So
Yeah, we'll see what they do with it. I mean,
yeah. So the plot for the series is going to be continuing her quest to find her father, I guess.
That's kind of what it seemed like they're setting up, yeah.
Yeah, I guess we won't see the return of Tito, but hey,
you never know.
never know. Never know. Droids
I
can
know.
return
I guess
too.
maybe this is what, I mean, obviously they must have looked at some analytics, and maybe this one was pretty well liked before, but yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, they had decided before this came out.
Yeah. True.
So, all right, Bryce, what's your score on this one?
I think I'm giving this one 2 poodoos as well.
Two poodoos, okay.
Yeah, I think so.
I will say the English dubbed version, 3 poodoos. But the subbed version in Japanese, I'll give it a bendu, which is my real rating.
Oh wow, okay, so that's quite the raise.
Man, that I could not do it with that original droid voice actor.
I was so surprised because I know you hate subtitles, and you were willing to watch this.
Yeah, it was much better. Like it was a hard time.
Yeah.
That just the portrayal of that character just kept taking me out.
I gave this one a 0.5 Pablo Poodoo. I didn't think it was that great. Especially, it was a big letdown because the first one, The Ninth Jedi, I thought was
so good.
So cool, right?
I think it was the best one of any.
Wasn't that the one with like the crazy lightsaber kyber crystal lore that they did? And didn't they do something? I thought that was that one. Wasn't that one that one?
There's one where her dad was like the secret lightsaber smith.
Yeah, that's the
then
one, I
there
think.
was
Yeah.
The Jedi that revealed himself to be Sith.
Right.
And then they had those cool like cranes that were like snatching
fishing
stuff out of
asteroids,
orbit. Out of orbit. Yeah, that was so cool. The world building in that one was awesome.
Yeah. So like, I mean, for this one, like the second part, I just thought, oh, man, like that creativity just felt like it didn't really carry over from the first part, which was kind of too bad. But
I'm gonna, give them some like forget the term for it, but like just kind of like say
some grace.
Thank you. I'll give them some grace, thinking maybe they were trying to do this at the same time as doing the series. Maybe they couldn't like put as much focused attention to it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Well, next year, Star Wars Visions presents The Ninth Jedi, which will be a spin-off limited series. So we'll probably have a couple of episodes of a continuation of this plot line, I guess, down the road.
Like maybe this is more of a springboard episode.
Yeah, I think it is. But it is too bad that it wasn't better. All right, next up, The Bounty Hunters by Wit Studio. This one was kind of crazy with a droid with 2 personalities and a rogue bounty hunter, I guess, takes on the job of a shady industrialist that has unexpected consequences for her and her droid.
Wit Studio presents the action-packed adventure, The Bounty Hunters. After their ship gets damaged, Bounty Hunter 7 and her droid Eva 4 land on planet Genya to get it repaired. There, the nefarious Jin Sim offers them a job which will turn out to be far more than they bargained for. Naoyuki Asano designed the main characters, whilst mechanical designer Takuma Ibisu came up with the mechanical elements, including a giant golden droideka and the 2-faced medical droid Eva 4. Director Junichi Yamamoto cites photographer and painter Saul Leiter and writer-director Wes Anderson as 2 of his creative influences. He also took inspiration from Star Wars themes of light and darkness and iconography from Japanese Buddhism, such as the yin and yang symbol, with 7 and Eva 4 portrayed as 2 sides of the same coin.
They don't know when to give up.
This isn't their fault. It's yours.
Eva's design took cues from Buddhist Asura statues, which have 6 arms and 3 faces. The droid's many arms were conceived to provide super fast medical treatment, and his face and personality changes when he switches to his assassin protocol. The filmmakers were inspired by the style and the morality play at the heart of Star Wars series The Mandalorian for their tale of bounty hunters, when Mercenary 7 is compelled to make a stand to protect the innocent instead of honoring a bounty. This is the way. Star Wars fans will be quick to clock Doug Chiang's iconic B-2 battle droid designs from Attack of the Clones. The team at Wit also adapted his Phantom Menace droideka design to a huge scale and provided a golden glow-up to reflect villain Jin Sim's excessive personality. After creating anime classics such as Attack on Titan and Spy Family, Wit Studio delivers another visually stunning and heartfelt Star Wars adventure with The Bounty Hunters. Check out all the new chapters of Visions Volume 3, now streaming on Disney+.
This one was kind of an interesting one. It started off with Gandhi vibes, and then it got really crazy. They had this shady industrialist who turns out to, at first he's polite and everything like that. We called it really early on that he was a scumbag. And sure enough, he's actually enslaved like the whole planet of people and this and that or whatever.
He had such like surface level excuses for all of his evil deeds.
Yeah, I loved it. I think at one point Josh was like, hello, bounty hunter, it's me. I am perfectly ethical billionaire.
Yeah.
Don't mind this army of children working for me.
All wearing these collars that track their health for their well-being.
Just a smart collar. Don't worry about it. It's all good.
Don't question anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it had some good parts. I do think like this studio, Wit Studio, they've made some pretty big ones like Vinland Saga, and then the first 3 seasons of Attack on Titan, Spy X Family, which I think is pretty popular. But
I've heard of that one, so probably,
you kind of expect a little bit more, I guess, when you hear about these kind of things,
right?
But yeah, it had some things I liked and some things I didn't like. I don't know.
How much did you like the droid?
Like at the end, the giant droideka?
No, the protagonist droid, the droid bounty hunter.
I don't know. Like, I feel like I've seen this story before, kind of like 2 partners, they split up, and at the end, he realizes she loved him all along, and then he rescues her. Right.
Han Solo?
Huh?
Han Solo, New Hope.
Han Solo, New Hope. Yeah.
Comes back and saves Luke.
Yeah, I guess it comes back, save Luke, but picture Han Solo, like Luke left him a little message on the Falcon. He's like reading it and he's like, oh, I feel bad. I should go back.
Right. That's the only reason. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love letter.
Yeah, the droid. I mean, he had pretty interesting voice acting. It was pretty, and again, his design was very over the top with his kind of like Grievous kind of style arms that came out of nowhere. And
yeah, like a Doc Ock essence about him a little bit there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's actually probably a better way to put it.
Yeah,
the Doc Ock arms in the backpack.
Right.
I think because we watched it after the other 3, which didn't resonate with me super well, I think came across quite a bit better. I actually liked the droid design. I thought that was actually kind of cool. I thought the upgraded split personality thing was a little bit new, so that was cool.
Yeah.
It served a story point later, which I didn't know it was maybe necessary, but it was neat. But I'd say if I had a gripe, it was that the tech billionaire was just so heavy-handed with his I'm not a bad guy, and like literally explaining everything that he was doing wrong with like a kind of like a fresh coat of paint over it. To the point where you're like, why would you talk about that?
Yeah.
It just felt weird.
Yeah.
And then I will say, maybe I won't say good or bad, but he had a giant golden droideka that he wore as a robot suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of interesting.
That was so out of nowhere.
I think the cherry on top was really that 2.1 million credit valued painting that they
at
give
the end.
Oh,
at
right.
the very end. They give
like
the
a postcard.
Yeah, they give the
90s.
villagers that thing, and they're like, this is worth 2.1 million.
Yeah,
million
imagine
credits.
giving that to like a bunch of refugees and giving them like this NFT is worth a lot of money. You guys can have.
You can sell this for
You're
food.
welcome.
I'll email it to you.
Yeah.
Because she suggests that they sell it for food, and it's like, okay, great, but who's gonna buy it?
Yeah.
You're surrounded by other villagers.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Okay, bye.
All right, see ya. Yeah, they don't have a ship to get off planet to sell that thing. That's Useless.
Also, she had to kill the calm, ethical part of her droid, and so she only had the evil assassin
At the end?
part left. Yeah, he was only in the evil version.
Yeah, because she pulled like a trick on the villain so that they could get him, and it involved like the light side of that droid dying.
Yeah.
Wow. So do you think, if they have separate personalities, is that actually like killing someone?
I guess so.
I guess in the droid,
But
I
as
guess
a droid,
yeah.
you could maybe repair it, but it wasn't repaired by the end.
Yeah, he wouldn't repair his weaker side.
That's
right.
He'd be like, I'm not repairing
The
that guy.
ethical
That guy's a
side.
loser.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna do. I think I'm not gonna go too harsh because I realize I just don't have a lot to say about this one, so I'm just gonna give it a Bendu.
Alrighty.
That's fair. I will give it 1 Pablo point.
1 Pablo point. Okay. I'm gonna give it a Bendu as well. All right, Yuko's Treasure. This is the next one up, and this one is brought to us by Kinema Citrus Company Co. They did 2 episodes on Visions Volume 3, and I believe they also had a hand in season or Volume 1 as well, with this second one being a carryover. So they did Yuko's Treasure. They also did The Lost Ones, and let's start off with Yuko's Treasure though. So this one was about a sheltered orphan who teams up with a street rat kid to rescue his bear droid caregiver and find a long lost treasure. This one takes place very visibly on Tatooine. 2 sons, they're on the Mos Eisley Cantina. The purple-haired boy, which is the street rat kid, is kind of in town looking for his parents or something like that, right?
Yeah, that's kind of his search through the whole episode.
Kinema Citrus presents Yuko's Treasure. Director Masaki Tachibana was inspired by his own kids to tell a coming-of-age story about a sheltered orphan who teams with a street rat kid to rescue his bear-like droid and reclaim his parents' legacy. Did you know spoken Japanese doesn't distinguish the letter V sound from the letter B sound? The team at Kinema Citrus were joking that while Darth Vader sounds pretty scary, a slight tweak in Japanese pronunciation gives you Darth Bear. This writer's room goof led to the creation of perhaps the cutest villain in Star Wars history, with all apologies to Salacious B. Crumb. Billy the Bear doesn't start out bad, he's just programmed that way. As our story begins, the fuzzy droid is a doting caregiver to our hero, Yuko. Character designer Atsuko Nozaki set about creating a unique look and poses for Billy, including a very handy torso microwave oven feature. Another of Yuko's companions is the triangle droid. With a design like a candy corn, this droid is full of surprises, gadgets, and also doubles as headwear when the need arises. Très chic. The tale begins in everyone's favorite wretched hive of scum and villainy, Mos Eisley. The filmmaker studied A New Hope closely, and Tatooine trivia fans will recognize plenty of familiar sights. An Ubrick land speeder, a whole heap of Jawas, including one riding a Ronto right out of the special editions, and of course, the iconic cantina, where the staff are always ready with a warm welcome.
I already told you, this is no place for kids.
Your droids, they'll have to wait outside.
Unless you're a kid or a droid, I guess. What? That's not enough Easter eggs for you? Check out all the toy starships at the stall where Billy first clocks Sola. We have a Clone Wars Aero Y-Wing bomber, a Naboo Royal Cruiser, a Bespin Cloud Car and Cloud City model, an Imperial TIE Fighter, a GR-75 transport and MC-80 Star Cruiser from the Rebel fleet, a Hammerhead Corvette, and a T-16 Skyhopper model just like the one owned by one Luke Skywalker. Yuko's Treasure is an adventure you'll want to enjoy along with all chapters of Star Wars Visions Volume 3, now streaming on Disney+.
What'd you guys think of this one?
I will say this one you could tell was definitely targeted towards a younger audience, but I thought it was really well made and I really enjoyed it. I like the character designs. I guess some stuff felt maybe a little bit out. I liked the villain a lot. I like that he felt like he was just really like cunning and chill in this chaotic world.
Yeah.
And then I enjoyed the Twi'lek as a sidekick, as well as I'm blinking on the other sidekick, but I thought they were a good mix. But then I didn't really get why they had these weird red minions that felt like they
there was some alien designs in this that were
very strange,
curious choices. Yeah,
like they looked like something that should have been in like Rick and Morty.
Same with those candy corn droids.
That's right, the candy corns.
I mean, those reminded me of in Spirited Away, like the little the little like dust speckle guys, the sprites. They're like little black. I think they're soot or like ash, and they kind of walk around and they throw coal into the furnace for the guy who works under the the bathhouse.
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe that's what they were going for. To
Okay.
kind of like hit on that, just a bunch of little helper guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, did you like this episode, Josh?
I thought it was at least compared to some of the previous ones we'd watched so far. It was one of the better ones.
It was well paced.
It was. I think. In my opinion, it was just like a little more well spaced out. Whereas a lot of the previous ones just kind of threw so much action and
very rushed. Yeah.
craziness at us, and it was like this one was just like a bit more, a bit more slow, and I appreciated that aspect.
I'm not sure how I feel about a giant plush droid with a robot, or a giant droid with a bear suit and an oven and
Yeah, I think that part to me was also very strange because like, again, like I'm coming at this from an angle of a Star Wars fan, and it's like I appreciate that this might be something in perhaps a Studio Ghibli or Ghibli film.
Yeah,
That was reminding me of Totoro.
Totoro, exactly.
Yeah.
It was very similar design to that.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, cool, that might fit that story, but like we're on Mos Eisley here,
Yeah.
like it's just like there's a bear with a microwave in its belly, and it's like
part of it. If it was a different planet, I feel like it would make maybe a little bit more plausibility. But the fact that it's on Tatooine just felt strange.
well, and there's no indication that this bear was in fact a droid. Like we were kind of trying to figure that
well,
out.
it had an oven in it for a stomach, so I mean, unless it's a cyborg.
Well, Darth Vader has that kind of box on his front too. You know?
Yeah, like I think
we can rebuild him, but he's gonna have to work in the kitchen.
I don't know. There was something about some of the designs I was like a little bit unsure about. They didn't really feel like they were intended to fit into any kind of alternate Star Wars universe. It was just like, okay, this is just something from some anime fantasy story somewhere.
They can make a plush toy out of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
For the toys.
Like this one, I like that it reminded me of like Pokemon, like an early episode of Pokemon. Like the villains were goofy.
Oh yeah, you said they remind you of Team Rocket.
Rocket.
They're always like blasting off into the like the big monster kind of falls off, and they're always like getting hit around and flying into the screen. They're acting goofy, you know. The minions are like, you know, his like underlings are very like funny and eager, but like kind of dumb.
Yeah.
You know, and then the guy, he's like a mastermind, but of course he gets kind of pranked at the end, and he's also a little dumb because he, you know, his cape gets stuck and he can't like move. You know,
help me.
He's all about the looks. You know, he wants to look and feel like a bad villain, but
but he's just a guy. Like,
and actually, like I feel like this episode genuinely made us laugh.
It did,
at times, and I think that's hard to do.
Yeah, it had that goofiness about it. Yeah.
So yeah.
One little extra mention was in the vault, they had a Spira instead of just a standard Republic credit. They went intentionally and used the currency found on Batuu and Galaxy's Edge and Disney, you know, which is an in-universe currency that the design choice, I was like, that is very intentionally a nod of a head to the Disney parks. So I don't know why that was there, but I thought that was kind of interesting. So, all right, what'd you guys give this?
I'm going to give it a 1 Pablo point. 1
Pablo point. All right. About you, Blake?
I was going to do 1.5.
1.5. Okay, that's pretty high. Okay, I gave this a 0.5 Pablo point. All right, The Lost Ones. This one is the second one from the same studio, and this is also a carryover from The Village Bride, which was a Volume 1 episode. Kinema Citrus Co. once again. After assisting refugees escape a natural disaster, an incognito F is forced to confront the ghosts of her past when their refugee ship is intercepted by the Empire.
After escaping a natural disaster, an incognito Jedi is forced to confront the ghosts of her past when a refugee ship is intercepted by the Empire. Kinema Citrus presents The Lost Ones. Sequel alert! The Lost Ones is a follow-up to The Village Bride from Visions Volume 1. In that story, the mysterious Jedi known as F renewed her vow as a protector of the innocent. Director Hitoshi Haga celebrated his 40th year in the anime industry during production as the film's director, co-writer, storyboard artist, and concept designer. We catch up with F on the planet Enoli. She finds that the planet has met with disaster. Remember what happened to Han Solo when he became Jabba's favorite decoration? A carbon freeze has affected the whole population after earthquakes triggered a gas leak at a local carbonite mine. F is bailed out by a group of locals. You might recognize their shuttle as a similar model to the Phantom 2 from Rebels and Ahsoka. While aboard, F meets a new friend, Ron, and an old one, the droid Lulu. The filmmakers worked to create a brand new droid design. The unique clamshell exterior hides 3 extendable wheels, retractable claws, and a scomp link. If you have to probe Imperial data or need a pilot in a pinch, Lulu is the droid for you. Lulu belongs to Juna, who is part of the alien species known as the Basilisk, the same as other notable characters Dexter Jetster from Attack of the Clones and the Jedi Pong Krell from the Clone Wars series. For the refugee ship, the artists at Kinema Citrus studied pictures of manufacturing facilities, abandoned factories, and large ships under construction for inspiration. Haga even journeyed from Japan to New York to study the USS Intrepid. Thanks for the selfie, Hitoshi-san. He also sent us pictures of himself and Chewbacca hanging out at Galaxy's Edge. We're not sure if this was research or a vacation, but we'll include it anyway. Reunite with F and her friends with the Lost Ones. You can find Star Wars Visions Volume 3 coming soon to Disney+.
This one to me was a huge standout one. Like I remember we all liked The Village Bride last year or 2 years ago, I guess, when that volume 1 came out. I'm pretty sure we all liked that one, but this one was cool. This one actually felt like it fit in Star Wars, you know, like the designs were all there. You know, there was a Star Destroyer that looked like a Star Destroyer. There was a lot of reference to the Force and, you know, a lot of recognizable alien species. You know, we saw a Basilisk and...
Yeah, they did a lot of, like, alien species from the prequels as well.
Yeah.
Yes. That was very cool. That was a very good.
It was neat
choice, I thought.
Yeah, yeah. And then the villain was just this. You know, I think was he in volume 1 in that first?
That was her master who sacrificed himself.
Yeah, so I guess
was he in the first episode?
I'm trying to think if he was or not.
I'm pretty sure
he may have been. I just can't remember the first one all that well. So. Yeah, but like he had this like villainy kind of creepy aspect about him. Like when he was talking and stuff like that, it kind of reminded me of what's his name, the actor Lee Pace when he plays Thranduil the elf. Is it King? Is it?
Oh yeah,
Legolas's father
from the Hobbit.
From the Hobbit. Yeah, kind of gave me those vibes a little bit. You know, long, luscious blonde, flowing hair, and then you got the
right.
The very chiseled, fair-skinned, manly voice, and yeah.
He basically was an elf.
Just kind of a concoction of multiple things there, but
I liked his lair. I thought that was a really cool design. It also fit the character, where like he basically was in like a meadow. The ground was a meadow with like flowers.
Yeah,
but then there was holographical walls around it, kind of like a dome.
Right.
And he could make it look like the outside of the ship. Like there was a camera that was projecting. So then you could see what's happening in space around the Star Destroyer from inside where they're fighting. And I thought that was a really cool idea.
It was a cool design choice.
Yeah.
So apparently, I don't think he is. The master is in the first episode.
Okay.
Apparently, he's like friends with the guy in the first episode. You know, he had that like big cylindrical helmet.
Oh yeah, right. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
But apparently this guy dies on Geonosis. Apparently he's at Geonosis. Dies in the arena.
In the arena.
Yeah, and then the Empire resurrects him.
Interesting.
Yeah, I like the What do you guys think about the carbonite bomb things?
Oh yeah, those are interesting.
Yeah.
That's what the friend of hers uses to melt the reactor. Those little vials.
Oh right.
Yeah.
It like expands. It's like a gas or.
That was an
liquid
interesting
that kind of
concept. Yeah,
expands.
I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah. I think sometimes I'm not huge on like the random gadgets they just invent for this, but this one I'm like, I actually kind of like this. Like,
kind of digging it.
I could see this in actual.
Yeah,
it's not a huge stretch.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, it's just like think of it as like a small dose of carbonite that just kind of expands.
Yeah,
right.
Like
That's what she uses to defeat him in the end because she doesn't know how to properly duel.
Yeah, she knows she can't take him with the saber skills and stuff. Yeah,
sacrificed her arm to stab him.
Well, speaking of which, the sabers in this, like, I know the duel like tries to really emphasize that sheathing of the laser blade, you know, especially with
like
the
a
Ronin.
samurai sword.
Yeah, like a samurai sword. This one kind of has the opposite of effect in the way that like it looks like that it's basically a dark saber.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's got the blade flat kind of look about it. It's got the squared off top, the edge, you know, it's got
an X-Acto knife.
Yeah, it's got a horizontal, you know, emitter. It's not a tube. It's not a cylinder. It's like a sword, right?
Yeah.
And
flat.
like an X-Acto knife. Yeah, it's just like it's kind of neat. May brought that up when we talked about the first one, but yeah, Lost Ones. I'm gonna give this one a 2 Pablo points. I thought this one was really good. I liked it a lot. I also felt like, again, I appreciated the fact that it actually feels like it fit in Star Wars.
Yeah. I think the art design, the characters are like I think she is like my favorite character, like the strongest character for me out of like all these Visions episodes.
Yeah.
Like I actually kind of like the acting, the voice acting. Like I kind of I can get behind it. I kind of want to see what happens to her next.
Right.
But I'm gonna do the same. Two for me.
2.
I was originally going to say 1.5, but you guys are starting to convince me otherwise. But I'll stick to my guns.
1.5. All right.
1.5. I enjoyed it quite a lot. It
All
wasn't
right.
my favorite of this season, but it's up there. Maybe top 2.
All right. Very nice. Third from the bottom is The Smuggler, brought to us by Trigger. You recognize Trigger Studios, right, Bryce?
Yeah. Here, let me just like look it up because Trigger's big right now.
Studio Trigger.
And I think they also did one last season.
Yeah, I remember you'd mentioned it before.
They did.
So Trigger's done, Kill a Kill is their biggest production. I mean, that was a long time ago. But then recently, I mean, Delicious in Dungeon or Dungeon Meshi is massive right now and a very, very fun watch if you haven't seen it. It's just about these I'm gonna just shill for it for a minute, but like it's just about if you are a D&D party and you're lost in a dungeon and you ran out of food. It's about this party and you have to make food from the monsters in the dungeon.
That's what the anime is about?
That's what the anime is about.
Oh,
so
wow. Okay.
It's about this dwarf cook who they find. And they're like, initially they're like, I was this guy, he's kind of useless. But then eventually they run out of food and he's able to make the most delicious food from these horrible, disgusting monsters, and it's very fun. Yeah.
That's crazy. All right. Trigger was also known for doing The Twins as well as The Elder. The Elder was one of my
that was
favorites.
A good one.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah. That one was kind of crazy.
Shout out to The Elder for doing kind of what I would have wanted more from the first kind of episode we talked about, like the traditional Japanese one. I feel like I really want, it had a lot of the same like tension from like a samurai duel.
Right.
Where it is not something that goes on for very long. It's just very slow and both people sizing each other up.
Yeah.
A moment of just intense violence.
Yeah.
And it's over, because sword fighting is deadly. It makes that episode with the Elder made lightsabers feel deadly.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Right.
Yeah. So, that was a good one. But yeah, this episode, eh?
Yeah, this one is pretty good.
Wow.
So, desperate for a quick payday, a smuggler takes a job to rescue a fugitive from the Empire. It started off with like a really nice cinematic sort of prologue to where we are, what's happening with the royal family on this planet after the Empire took over, and how the prince of this family is on the run. And boom, like we were just like, oh, great. Okay. We're just, we're throwing into this. And yet we get like a 30-second, like, this is what happened in this world and off to the races. Right.
Yeah.
And it was like, it was great. I loved it. I loved the context of that. And just, I don't know, there's something that felt really neat about that kind of storytelling.
Yeah, I love the initial grounding scene of like, it didn't require anyone giving us exposition or background. It's just she goes into a cantina, she talks to a guy who's like kind of pulling one over on her. We know that she's kind of behind, and she's in a cantina, so we know it's Star Wars,
Yep. Yeah. Very well paced.
It was extremely well paced and well cast. It was very
the voice acting was great.
It was so well done.
Music was
All the
really
characters were like voiced perfectly to the portrayal of what the characters were.
Yeah, no character was unlikable or annoying, and that was really nice.
And there's also a lot of good quirks. Like I love her original Rhodian co-pilot.
Yeah, that was really funny.
that was really fun.
Yep.
And the twist with us thinking that this elderly woman was like setting her up for some sort of schemy betrayal, and then the reveal of what actually, do we want to spoil it?
Yeah, we can spoil it.
Yeah, with the reveal of they're involved with the royals and she actually was just trying to get them off planet. But her design made her look so like creepy and untrustworthy that your immediate vibes are like, oh, she's up to something.
Yeah, it was neat when they did the reveal. It's like, okay, she's like a Jedi. She gave up when the Jedi purge and happened. I guess she really accepted it, because she's like, I'm just gonna continue to serve this family and do good from here. Kind of like, I guess there's other Jedi who have probably done the same, not continued to try and
cross one in Kenobi, didn't we? Or Kenobi was telling him to do that.
Yeah, Kenobi was telling him to do that, but I think and Obi-Wan I think had a different, like a more negative perspective of that. But I think like not every Jedi who survived the purge is like on a mission to bring the Jedi back, right? I think like that's certainly like that's like a very specific mindset that we've seen through Luke's vision of like, I want to become a Jedi and I want to bring the Jedi back. Like, this is my purpose, right? Because I'm the last one. And then there's other Jedi out there who are like, okay, we're on
Now
a
I'm a
mission to,
farmer.
we're on a mission to do something, but it might not necessarily like bring the Jedi Order back. Like,
over
you
the
know,
other-
We got to roll with the hand we're dealt here. Like,
yeah, we got to roll with the punches here. We've lost, you know, like we've lost like there's no coming back from this. Like some of them have just accepted that.
Right.
And so I love that this lady was just like, you know, this mysterious woman. And then we find out she's a Jedi and she whips that lightsaber out of her mechanical arm socket
cool.
thing. That was a
really
cool design.
Design, yeah.
And then it's
this
like,
episode has a lot of good designs.
yeah. And it's like, okay, yeah, she's just dedicated to continuing to do good, but to someone who really needs her help, you know? And I thought that was like a really cool character choice.
Trigger co-founder and the elder director Masahiko Otsuka makes his triumphant Star Wars return with The Smuggler. Cheetah, a smuggler desperate for a quick payday, agrees to take on a job from a mysterious client to bring a wanted young prince to safety. In true Star Wars fashion, things don't go to plan, and it's not long before a crafty bounty hunter and everyone's favorite bad guys, the Empire, are in hot pursuit of our heroes. Director Masahiko Otsuka transitioned from the live-action film industry to the world of anime as an assistant director for Studio Ghibli in 1992. He would go on to co-found Studio Trigger in 2011. In 2021, Trigger delivered the two very different stories for Visions Volume 1, Twins, and The Elder. Having focused on Jedi, Sith, and lightsabers with The Elder, the director wanted to tell a different kind of story, focused on scoundrels, royals on the run, and a Jedi in hiding with a cool trick up her sleeve. Otsuka-san wanted to reflect the fun character dynamics from A New Hope. For The Smuggler, Otsuka-san reteams with his elder composer Oshima Michiru. Tadashi Hiramatsu joined the project as lead designer and animation director. In developing Gleenu, Hiramatsu-san came up with the idea of making her Assyrian, just like fellow Jedi Master Ki Arimundi, who has appeared in Star Wars live-action and animated series, along with the prequel trilogy. For the thrilling chase sequences, the team at Trigger blended 2D and 3D animation techniques for maximum effect. Whilst Cheetah's ship was created using familiar Star Wars design elements, the filmmakers wanted to create an original design for the bounty hunter's vehicle. Trigger's core animator, Yo Yoshinari, created a starship that infused Star Wars design with an anime twist, and rockets aplenty to cause all kinds of trouble for our heroes. If you're ready for new adventures, assemble your crew and check out Visions Volume 3, now streaming on Disney+.
The studio just knew Star Wars and they knew what makes a good Star Wars, you know, TV series, and they know what the fans want. You know, they could have easily messed it up in a lot of ways. They could have, you know, they only had her reveal the lightsaber at the end. You know, they could have had, I don't know, some other like annoying side characters come up. They could have, I don't know, there could have been a lot of different ways, but they kind of just nailed it in like every section of, and they just showed like in a very short time, just like the start of this hero's journey. It is essentially like what we're seeing is essentially just Luke Skywalker on Tatooine and getting off planet.
Right.
It's very, very similar.
Yeah,
I suppose it is.
Yeah, but just a little bit of a role reversal instead of the prince or instead of the princess. You know, kind of we get the prince. You know,
Right. Yeah, that's true. Actually, I think.
Yeah. But I think it just works because they're both so likable characters. Again, as someone who likes Ghibli, I see a lot of kind of like the prince was very much like Howl's Moving Castle. It really reminded me of Howl from Howl's Moving Castle. And then same with the witch, or not the witch, sorry, the Jedi
elderly lady.
She reminds me of the witch from Spirited Away, who has a sister who's actually a good witch, but she looks evil, you know, kind of thing, to kind of throw you off, and so you're kind of like, maybe I shouldn't like judge people just by how they look.
Design,
teaching kids, I guess, but
she kind of reminded me of the stepmother from Cinderella.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that's exactly what they're going for.
Yeah,
to kind of throw you off.
Yeah,
to give mean stepmother vibes, like a lady who's scheming.
A little bit. Yeah,
scheming.
I'm doing a 3, baby.
3.
Oh, wow.
This one is 3 for me.
All right,
this one was really good.
I really enjoyed this.
But we didn't mention that they actually used a ship from the Clone Wars 3D series.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So to me, I didn't actually look this up, but it looked like the Zygerian.
I'm pretty sure. You're right.
Yeah, it looked like a shuttle from like the Zygerian Clone Wars episodes. I just looked that up real quick, but it had.
It is.
It is okay.
It is
so a
ship.
YV-865 Aurora class. It looked like that was it. So
Oh, we didn't mention the bounty hunter either. I thought he was really well designed.
really well done,
He was cool. His gadgets felt very Star Wars. Was anything too crazy?
Yeah, like they just know, because like they could have easily just had the Empire in there, but you have to include the seedy underbelly of Star
especially
Wars.
Tatooine.
yeah,
Right? Like the Empire is not the only one
Villain,
coming
yeah.
after you.
right.
Yeah. Like it just ticked all the boxes.
Yeah, it did. You're right. You're 100%. I gave this one a 2.5. I think I probably would give it a 3 in a perfect world, but I almost never give 3s. So
Yeah, it's funny. I was gonna say 2.5 for the same reason, but I also can't think of anything that I would change. I'm gonna give that rare 3.
that rare 3. Okay.
I'm
All
gonna
right.
Join Team Bryce here.
All righty.
3.
Amazing. I respect it. Okay, The Bird of Paradise. This was a short brought to us by Polygon Pictures. Polygon Pictures, known for anything notable, Bryce?
Star Wars Resistance.
Star Wars Resistance. There you
Which
go.
is pretty crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then a couple Love, Death, and Robots episodes, at least from the things that I kind of have seen. Other than that, I mean, they have a lot on their CV, but I mean, I guess they're doing Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man right now.
Yeah. Which, by the
It's an
way,
American studio.
Friendly Tokyo, headquarters in
Oh, it's
Tokyo.
in Tokyo. Oh, okay. I assumed because it was Resistance, it was American.
Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, by the way, great show.
Yeah.
I watched it. It was actually really, really good. Pleasantly surprised with, despite it being 3D animated with the 2D shader thing, but not necessarily in a way that it's intended to trick you to look like it's 2D, but it was... I was like, okay, let's see what this is about. And then by the final episode, I was like, oh man, I was sold. I was like, I can't wait for season 2. This is a great show. Like it definitely brought me back to that 90s period where it's like those like old superhero television shows that were all really good.
Yeah, maybe I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, it was great. It was.
I like that air of Spider-Man.
It really embraced the alternate universe aspect of the show because they launch you into this idea. It's like, oh, yeah, this is a different universe, but with this idea that it's like still adjacent to that Tom Holland vibe that you get from the MCU, but everything's like twisted and different.
Nice.
So it was cool. All right, so so this one was pretty bad.
Yeah.
The Bird of Paradise.
We did turn it on. We paused it at one point. And
Yeah.
we were pretty upset that there was still like half.
There's still
of it
like
to go.
we weren't even halfway. There's still 11 minutes.
So the publisher summary for this one is after she is blinded in battle, a hot-headed Jedi Padawan must undergo a series of spiritual trials in order to overcome the temptation of the dark side. So there's a total of 5 days that it transitions through in the story. There's a prologue and an epilogue, and 5 days that title card comes up. I found those transitions very rough.
Jarring.
Yeah, it just kind of took you out of it every time. It was like, oh, okay. And in 20 minutes, you're seeing that a lot.
True.
What was what would you consider like the biggest like core issue with this episode?
How unlikable the character was.
The character was very unlikable. Yeah, there was nothing to me, at least, that I really liked about her.
Yeah.
I know you guys felt the same way too, but like I didn't necessarily have as big of a problem with, I know the animation style was maybe not a favorite one, but like that part, it's like, okay, I didn't really mind as much.
It felt like that. I don't want to say this in a way that sounds like cruel or rude, but the vibe I got was it felt like a cheap Saturday morning cartoon animation style where everything was very weightless.
I feel like that is 3D to me. I feel like it's very hard to do cheap, fast.
It is
3D and have
for
it
sure.
feel like weighty, because that requires time and money
It
to
does.
like really like get into those frames and to add those like in
The subtle
betweens
details. That's what it is. Because if you're just doing point to point animation, everything is very floaty.
And that's why I almost never like 3D in anime, because they don't have the time to make it look good. So it's never gonna look as good. Yeah.
And then on top of that, they chose to not have motion blur, which made it even worse.
Yeah, definitely didn't help.
This episode made me feel like I was mean, like I'm a mean person.
Yeah.
I know.
It makes me feel like I'm watching this person going through a really rough time of self-discovery, and I'm like, hey, you're so annoying.
Yeah. Yeah, I felt the same way.
And it made me resent that I had to watch it, because I had to feel like I was mean, I don't know.
I feel you. Yeah. Like you want to, like, because there's this part of being in the audience with a story like that where you want to relate to that character, you want to feel bad for her, but she's also just so annoying.
Yeah.
And it's like, come on, like just I don't know.
And
Like, I
kind of
understand.
erratic too, right? It was like she'd be like, it was very jarring, her emotions at times, or like it'd be like, I think you brought it while we were watching it. It's like she was really angry, and then within a few seconds she was sympathetic to the trees.
Yeah.
All of a sudden she was like upset and impatient and angry, and then just a total switch, and she was hugging a tree and being like, I need to be like this tree, and I miss my master. And then her master would show up and be like, I hate you.
So she would say that to her master.
Yeah. She'd be like, I don't lecture me. Like, I don't want to hear anything from
Master, where are you? You need to be more patient. Don't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I think that's what they mean by hot-headed, but it definitely comes off as like, man, she's a bit much.
I guess it's just the pacing. Like, I think maybe as an audience you can handle that in small doses, or like if that change kind of happens a little quickly or something. But it was just, I feel like we got a fight scene and then a good 10 minutes or 15 minutes of her struggling.
Yeah.
It's never fun to watch. It's not fun to watch someone struggle.
No.
You know, because
especially when the whole thing was kind of like in her head. It was all like mental space, like 50 minutes straight.
After she's blinded in battle, a hot-headed Jedi Padawan must undergo a series of spiritual trials in order to overcome the temptation of the dark side. Polygon Pictures presents The Bird of Paradise.
I have no idea where I am, and I can't see anything. Why can't I? Master!
Drawing diverse inspiration from Joseph Campbell's hero's journey, Japanese animism, and folklore, Bird of Paradise adopts a uniquely painterly style to depict Nakime's perception of a tactile world shrouded in darkness. How do you visualize the Force from the perspective of someone with no sight? Director Tadahiro Tadi Yoshihida and the design team at Polygon tested various colorful looks and vibrant designs, starting with the idea of painterly, surreal images made up of tiny elements like grain or living cells. As a great Jedi once said of the Force,
it's an energy field created by all living things.
Lead designers Kazuma Teshigahara and Takuma Ishibashiwe experimented with this visualization of the Force, looking at schools of fish or insects that individually have their own life but move together as one. In Buddhism, paradise refers to the pure land of Amitabha, the ideal place where we mortals aim to be reborn after death. In Japanese mythology, the pheasant is an entity that travels between the realms of heaven and earth as a messenger. The filmmakers incorporated feathers and bird jewelry into Nakime's costume design to represent these ideas of her spiritual rebirth. As Nakime finds herself lost in the forest, she meets a talking toad, a mentor figure inspired by yokai-like spirit characters from Japanese mythology. The filmmakers were also inspired by another small yet mighty teacher figure who dispenses tough love lessons and likes to talk in riddles. And just like Luke on Dagobah, Nakime must undergo trials involving powerful visions, like being caught in a web by Amon, the fearsome Sith apprentice that took her sight. Her character was based on Amonjaku, demon-like creatures in Japanese folklore. Check out the horns. For more tales of Jedi and Sith, check out all new chapters of Visions Volume 3, now streaming on Disney+.
I don't know about you guys too, but like I think one of the reasons why I just have a problem with the duel in this as well is like when I watch anything like something that Dave says about like the fighting, it's like okay, like there's got to be a reason why this fight matters, right? It's like ultimately I guess it's the setup for her blinding, but at the same time I just especially after watching the duel Payback, and then like you know there was another one or two with like some lightsaber fights in there, but it's just to me it's just like, man, I don't know anything about these characters, and I don't know why they're fighting, and therefore, and also I don't know, live action fighting is much more interesting than watching animated fighting to me. But
says a huge fan of 3D Clone Wars.
Yeah, but Clone Wars, see, I know those characters, so okay. Like and the Clone Wars animation is like I thought was way better than what we saw this. But
season 1 is like the same.
Season one is rough, yeah, but it gets really good. And but like we know those characters, we have a
right,
you know, like it's the Star Wars canon, like it's a way bigger deal, right? But yeah, we're going into this was like, okay, I don't know who this is. They're swinging a lightsaber, it's like, and it doesn't even like, to me, it doesn't even look that great. So I don't know. It's just like none of it really struck me very well at all, which was kind of too bad. But what'd you give this one?
I want to throw it a bone and say 2.5 poodoos, but I think I got to get a full 3. Like this was the one where I was willing to skip it.
It
was hard to sit through.
Honest. Especially when I hit the navigation button, we saw we were only halfway through, and all of us like, no,
man. We're like 8 minutes in. There's 11 minutes.
I think that spoke volumes. Yeah.
And that was already after watching her struggle with what felt like 15 to 20 minutes.
I think I'm gonna give it a 3 as well. This was
3 poodoos, yeah.
This was a 3 Pablo Poodoo for me.
Yeah, me as well. Yeah.
3 Pablo Poodoos across the board.
Dang, that is rough. Like
Wow.
I do feel bad because someone out there might actually like this, and we've just destroyed it. you
Yeah.
know?
I was always feel
But
like,
so. If you found her struggle, endearing
or
relatable, and you liked her character and you did not find her annoying, I think that's completely fine.
Right. Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. These are
just a little,
Yeah.
Because I never want to like fully. It is like art that someone has produced and they're trying to tell something. Tell
It's
a
also
story.
tough when you think about somebody worked on this, put so much heart, effort into it.
I think the idea behind the story was a neat idea though. Like, I mean, it's like, okay, yeah, there is. We're really seeing the Cain and Jarrus story being told
that's true,
here, right?
actually,
Like,
yeah.
It's like Cain and Jarrus blinded by his duel with
he struggled
Maul.
after that.
Yeah, and he struggled after that. He's like he didn't at first think he could be who he's supposed to be, and then
Saved by Bendu.
yeah, Bendu really showed him the way, and it's like Bendu for him was his journey, like his spiritual journey, and I just felt that. But Kanan's such a likable character,
And we already knew him a lot.
and we already knew him, and Bendu, the whole journey with Bendu was really well written, really well done.
Yeah.
And just the way it was brought into this story with like 5 days and the trials and stuff and the annoying personality, I was like, man, this is just not working
we
for
just
this.
don't care
In the
enough,
rough
right?
area.
Yeah. But I do have an appreciation for the core element of the
And
story.
that being said, I mean, it is very funny to spin it the other way, where it's like we're 3 yokels like on a couch being like, why can't you just get over your blindness in 5 minutes? So we can just get on with like some good stuff.
Yeah.
You've just been blinded and like
Get over it.
yeah, come on. It's been like
Yeah.
We know you've been walking for 5 days blind, starving.
Yeah.
Come on.
yeah.
Like, come on already. Oh, man. Okay, so this last one is called Black, brought to us by David Production. This one was
Very
crazy.
different. Yeah.
So the official description for this, because there is no plot summary, a psychedelic battle between past and present, light and dark, and life and death plays out in the haunted psyche of an Imperial trooper who is on the cusp of defeat. And we actually talked about this while we were watching it because it was so insane. Like there's no dialogue at all. And we actually did figure that out as we were watching that.
So
which
I think that is a testament to them succeeding in their execution.
Yeah, for
Of
sure.
Just pure animation.
I'm going to be honest, like this was not for me, but I
It's
think
very artsy.
the way that it told the story through its artistic ways, it was successful, to say the least. So
Yeah, I think this one's hard to be like I hated that.
Right.
Right. It's hard, but it's hard to be like this is
the best one.
Yeah.
It's kind of just its own thing.
I think I mentioned this when we were watching it, but I appreciate that. I think this is kind of what Vision should be doing. Like it's like you're gonna give someone the license to kind of do what they want, and they want to do this to like just push like the medium or just do some cool animation.
Yeah.
I'd rather this than like a regurgitated, empty, soulless story I've seen a million times,
Right.
With some bad animation. I'd rather see this, even though this isn't like my favorite thing. I can appreciate the art, and I appreciate like a lot of things about it.
David Production teams with anime legend Shinya Ohira for Black, a psychedelic battle between past and present, light and dark, and life and death that plays out in the haunted psyche of an Imperial stormtrooper who is facing defeat.
A lot of this, obviously, as you're well aware, is about the imagery. And so what Ohira-san really wants to do is write a rough storyboard.
Shinya Ohira's expressionist, experimental style and fluid line work allows him to animate characters in settings with heightened, surreal motion, featuring dynamic camera moves and transitions with incredible levels of detail. As Ohira-san says, there is an enormous amount of information in the movements of people and things, and the joy is in how to express that in animation. With over 35 years in the industry, the filmmaker has worked on many iconic anime productions, including several collaborations with Hayao Miyazaki and Studio Ghibli. Ohira-san's work can also be seen in Quentin Tarantino's Kill Bill Volume 1 and the Animatrix anthology. Ohira-san wanted to fully embrace the chance to direct and put his unique style front and center. He also took on writing the script, creating the storyboard, and he served as the character animation supervisor. The moment Ohira-san introduces the visual of the opening space battle that impossibly morphs into a close-up of a human eye, we know we're about to embark on a unique Star Wars trip. The director felt it would be interesting to take stormtroopers, who are normally background characters, and explore their inner conflicts, memories, and feelings. He tirelessly drew frame after frame with pencil and paper as the team at David Production realized his art digitally to reinterpret iconic Star Wars battles, such as the Death Star assault from Return of the Jedi, in Ohira's inimitable style, with his bold camera work that is only possible in animation. Ohira-san felt that a joyful, jazz-infused score would complement and contrast with the visual dissonance of Black. He decided to work with musical artist Sakura Fujiwara after hearing her debut album. This collaboration makes for a uniquely groovy Star Wars soundscape. In 2025, Black was among the short films in the official selection of the prestigious Annecy Animation Festival. But don't worry if you didn't get a ticket. You can catch Black and all the new chapters of Visions Volume 3 streaming now on Disney+.
The music was very fun, hey? Like the jazz. And
Very Monsters Inc. at times.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
And the more I think about it now, actually, like digesting it, the more I kind of like it. You know, it's this like there are some very weird flashbacks. You know, of like this stormtrooper guy. He's like fighting with himself, and then he's in a battle, and he's viewing all these people being shot, and then he's like on a grassy plain with his girlfriend. You know, or like on the beach,
at the beach,
like having a beach party. So it's kind of evoking that, you know.
This is just some guy he had a full life, and this was his job, and he just had to witness all of this cruel reality.
Yeah,
but maybe it's not just his job, because he is like, you know, fighting with himself, this like evil version of himself,
right?
And like you know,
I think that's bringing humanity to just a common stormtrooper, because it could be him waking up to the evils of the Empire, but it's also like he's indoctrinated.
Yeah. This did reflect, I think, the artistic side of what Visions can be. And that being said, I don't know if you guys remember this, but back in 2010, there was a book that launched called Star Wars Art Visions, and the cover was this Vader with like rain droplets and stuff, and it was an art book, and it was created, the art inside was created by generally just fans who are artists, and it was all hand selected by George Lucas. And George had a foreword in there in the book, because this was before he sold the company, so he selected all of it. He put in a foreword, and then J.W. Rinsler, the guy who is sort of the guy, you know, to go to for books like this, also had a thing that he wrote about in there. And I don't know how many pieces there were, but the standard version has like 176 pages, and I don't know, it's just like, that's cool, you know. It's like people who love Star Wars who have their own kind of artistic,
they're going to interact with it in their own way.
And they are.
That is like exactly why I kind of dig this.
And that's what Black was, I think, trying to do here. Is like, it's like, okay, well, it's very artistic.
Now, if you gave me like 12 of these,
it might be a bit much.
But it was kind of a nice way to end. And
definitely broke up the pattern a lot.
Right,
for sure.
All right, so what would you give this one?
I'm gonna give it one Pablo point.
This is hard to rate, man. It's just kind of its own thing. Yeah, I guess I'll give it 1 as well. It's not something that like I'd necessarily feel like I'd want to rewatch. Like I might rewatch the Smuggler episode. That was really good. But I can't complain about anything like this. Like it definitely kept my attention the entire way through, because it's just so visually stimulating. I guess.
Exactly. Yeah, I think you nailed it. It's just it made us think. It evoked feelings. It was enjoyable to watch.
And I felt this intrigue to figure out like what is happening the entire time, because there's no dialogue, and it feels like there's a story, but you can't. It's not like coherent enough to just like pick up. You kind of really got to put the pieces together. I mean, we surprisingly did by the end, as Josh mentioned. But yeah, all I can say is it held my attention the entire time.
Yeah, nice. All right, well, I give it a 1 as well. Which brings the team average, starting from the first episode down to the last. We got number 1, Dual Payback, at 0.5 Pablo Poodoos. Got an average for the Song of Four Wings at 2 Pablo Poodoos. The 9th Jedi Child of Hope team average of 1 Pablo Poodoo. And the Bounty Hunters, we got sitting at 0.5 Pablo points. Yuko's Treasure at 1 Pablo point. The Lost Ones at 2 Pablo points. The Smuggler at 3 Pablo points.
That's impressive.
The Bird of Paradise at 3 Pablo Poodoos. And finally, Black sitting at 1 Pablo point. So that is
It's a roller coaster.
That is a roller coaster. Yeah, I feel like, started off pretty rough, and then got really good, and then just ended off with a bomb, and then one that was like, okay, what just happened?
Yeah, that's true. Last little thing about that last one though is if you really like that, the animation director worked on a show called Ping Pong the Animation, and it is actually a really fun anime. If you just like kind of like an experimental animation art style and kind of like a quirky, fun anime, look up Ping Pong the Animation.
That's good to know. Thank you. Yeah. All right. Well, that pretty much wraps it up for the evening. I think just while we're clocking out here, between volume 1, 2, and 3, I did see that I think it was IGN had rated volume 3 as the least favored between the three. But I guess what would you guys, based on your memory of 1, 2, and 3, like what would you say is the standout between the three of them as far as a volume goes?
I think I would say season 1, but I do know every season there's been a few that I really liked and then a few that just weren't for me.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say any one is way better than anything else, because to be honest, each episode is kind of its own thing. It's hard to say like this season versus that season.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really just kind of roll of the dice of which episodes ended up in which season.
Right. That is true. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I'd say. I mean, this one's so fresh in my mind that I would find it hard, and I like the Smuggler so much.
That was a very, very good
that
episode.
I don't know if any of the other episodes in the first seasons kind of hit that like that episode did.
I would say the only one that would have been close is the one that's getting the series, which is Seventh Jedi?
The Ninth Jedi.
Ninth Jedi.
Yeah.
Seventh Samurai. My mistake.
Yeah,
Ninth
so
Jedi.
I'm going to say, I like this season. I mean, I like this episode the most out of any Visions episode.
Okay.
Just Smugglers, yeah.
All right. Thank you both for coming on as usual. And, we do have a few things coming down the road. So,
I have a question.
Yeah.
Before we cut it off here. How do you guys feel about season 4? Do we feel like this is kind of run its course as far as like we're starting to get stories that might be getting a little too repetitive? Or do you think there's a lot more fresh content out there? We need season 4.
I feel like I was a little disappointed after season 2. And I thought this would be the last one. Like I was like, I don't think I'm gonna want another one.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. This kind of gave me a little bit of hope. Like maybe I wouldn't mind another season. I don't think I'm kind of exhausted yet. Maybe there is a little bit more to explore. I could do another season.
Yeah. Okay. Are you looking forward to the continuation of the Ninth Jedi now?
I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like we were
rough.
I know that you were looking forward to it when we saw the first part.
Excited for it,
and now the second part, and it's like, okay, well, maybe not.
Well, maybe we need to rewatch it with just on the subbed version the whole way through.
Yeah,
but it lost a lot of the intrigue and the world building of the first one. Like this one, I guess the cool world building part of this one was that the dead pickle man.
Yeah. Darth Pickleus.
That's right. That part was cool, but I also felt like it wasn't utilized. But it was a cool concept.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm going to have to wait and see where it goes.
Mm-hmm.
But it did feel like a pretty big drop off from the first episode, from the season 1.
Yeah. Interesting.
And you, Josh?
I enjoyed the first part a lot, but yeah, this one was less enjoyable for me, but I'm curious to see what they'll do, I guess. I'm not overly keen on the plot of the mystery box element I've never been a huge fan of. Yeah. So I guess we'll see.
No, that's fair. Yeah. This kind of like format isn't kind of for everyone, right? Like a lot of people want something that is going to add to the lore, add to the galaxy, add to expand the world that exists, And
they did such a good job that the first time around.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All
right. Well, thank you both once more, and we'll see you on the next one.
Yeah, always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure indeed. See you out there. Keep flying.
All right. Thank you so much to our audience for tuning in as usual. And a quick word from our sponsor.
Jabberwood with thier. You also did not listen to Star Wars Escape Pod. If you know what's good for you, tune in, subscribe, share this show with a partner in crime, leave a good review.
Well said, Boba. All right. Big thank you once again for everyone who tuned in for the last 400 episodes. And here's to another 100 ahead of us, hopefully. We do love those reviews, though. So that helps us out a lot. It helps other people find the show. And go and subscribe to Star Wars Escape Pod on YouTube using the links in the description box. You know the rest. May the Force be with you.